It is okay to not be healthy.
My weight is not your business unless I'm sitting on your face.
Hey, welcome or welcome back. It is actually my channel's birthday, apparently. Happy birthday! For today's birthday video, we are going to be looking at the donuts for breakfast situation on TikTok.
This video where this mom is serving her daughter powdered donuts and applesauce for breakfast has gathered over 11 million views on TikTok, and the comments have been rough.
That led to a sea of people coming to her defense and to the defense of junk food in general. The conversation around nutrition and health has been hijacked by the corporations selling these food products, and we can see what a good job they've done by exploring the situation a bit. Let's start by watching the original TikTok. For those who can't see the screen, the mom here just sort of throws down a plate. She puts some powdered donuts on it and a little squeezed tube of applesauce, and that is her 1-year-old's breakfast. People are either defending her with their lives and their literal children, and by that I mean they are filming themselves eating their kids donuts for breakfast as some kind of misguided act of solidarity with this mom.
Hey, the fuck, y'all ain't gonna say to me about it. I'm gonna double down and give her fucking 2.
Sue me.
Go!
Do better.
Some of these moms really went the extra mile and added things like Reese's to the breakfast plate or birthday cake, all while staring into the camera really aggressively. I don't know if it's just me, but those videos are really bizarre. Then there are the people who are mad and adamant and accusing this woman of being a bad mom or worse.
The internet is mom shaming this lady because she chose to give her kids donuts for breakfast.
I'm gonna say something controversial, okay? I think this is terrible parenting.
That breakfast was straight up lazy.
This type of behavior is absolutely despicable because you know damn well she could have went out and bought some healthier food instead of sugared donuts and applesauce.
I am not a mom. I do not have any experience being in charge of feeding a kid.
The people who don't have kids but want to offer advice on what they would or wouldn't do, shut the f up.
I do have opinions on nutrition though, but they are based on time that I've spent trying to understand nutrition. And something that's caught my attention here more than anything are the people who are defending powdered sugar donuts as a normal breakfast based on the fact that most of our breakfast foods in the United States are sugary junk foods.
Feeding your kids powdered donuts for breakfast is not that much different from waffles covered in syrup or sugary cereal.
Granted, is that the best breakfast? Obviously, absolutely not. But are Fruity Pebbles the best breakfast? Absolutely not, because let's get into it. That is terrible for you. That is equivalent to giving your kid powdered donuts.
I want to discuss some of the ways that these companies like Hostess influence smart people who know better into believing the lies and promises that they make about their food products. What I'm hearing are a bunch of adults who know that frosted, covered, ultra-processed bullshit isn't actually a solid breakfast for anyone, but despite knowing this, they're defending the frosted, covered bullshit.
It's donuts for breakfast, but how is that any different than a sugary bowl of cereal or pancakes, waffles, than like a Danish?
Don't act like you never did it. Don't act like you're too good. Don't start mom shaming here. Don't act like you never gave your child a donut for breakfast, a Cheeto, or some chocolate just to get out the door.
And most of the arguments used to defend these foods are products of the same corporations who are manufacturing the Franken food. They also manufacture their own credibility.
Well, Dr. Nestle's, I presume.
Nestle Health Sciences. This is a $6+ billion division of Nestle.
Propaganda.
Which leads to people feeling educated and informed about nutrition in ways that benefit the companies, not us.
Snack cakes for the kids. Are there any that have more than good taste? Yes. Hostess announces snack cakes now fortified with vitamins and iron with the good taste kids love and good nutrition they need.
The strategies they use to make us feel good about Little Debbie are the same ones that were, quote, pioneered and perfected by tobacco, alcohol, and drug companies to defend and promote their product. And before we go any further, let's get on the same page about what products we're even talking about.
Yeah, it's a delicious, spongy, golden cake stuffed with a delightful, creamy white substance of goodness. And here's how you eat it.
What Xander is describing there is a Twinkie, which is a great example of an ultra-processed, hyper-palatable food. These are products that contain ingredients that were once whole foods, but those foods have been technologically degraded and modified into unrecognizable versions of their former selves.
Almost all of them are enriched or enhanced with the vitamins and minerals. Why? Because when you have a whole grain like oats, to make it into a cereal, they have to strip out all of the nutrition to process it into this cereal, and then they fortify it back with vitamins and minerals.
They are then reconstructed and plumped with fillers for flavor, texture, or nutrients to simulate the experience of eating real food.
And the exciting part is that they have no ingredients that a human can pronounce. It leaves you with that heavy food feeling in your stomach.
I think the term technologically degraded food creates a much more accurate image of what these foods actually are. Words like hyper palatable and ultra processed, they sound a bit too impressive, almost futuristic in my opinion. They are not words that evoke the same kind of caution as technologically degraded food, but they're describing the same thing.
Like a Cheeto.
Cheese flavored pops.
And these products shape our dietary behaviors. We crave them. We want more of them because they are designed with ingredients and additives that light up the reward centers in our brains.
The people saying that they were concerned about the child's health because of what she was eating for breakfast, I call bullshit. And this is why. On a stitch of the video that I saw yesterday where a non-medical professional was talking about how junk food alters your prefrontal cortex, FYI, puppies, juggling, social interaction also light up your reward center.
Social interaction is pretty key to our survival, so our brains rewarding us for this experience is a way of keeping us alive. That's also why our brains reward us for eating. But we get extra rewards from eating these products. They affect our adult brains and create habits that are incredibly difficult to break. Imagine how they affect a kid's brain. And pretending that this is an irrelevant piece of the puzzle just shows what a good job these companies have done at writing their own stories.
Now with more fruit flavor, Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal, part of this complete breakfast. Sugar Crisp is fun to eat 3 ways: as a cereal with milk or cream, as a snack any time of day, or as candy right out of the box.
You get a big delight in every bite.
One method used by these companies to keep us arguing for choices like Little Debbie for breakfast is to frame that choice in terms of injustice.
Is it really about a concern for health, or do these people just want a safe space to talk about their distaste for fatness?
Shaming someone for feeding their child food you don't approve of is your own problem, not theirs. My weight is not your business unless I'm sitting on your face.
Plenty of people have come out to say that this is just fat shaming, and nobody would have said anything if the mom was a thin, more conventional influencer type look.
A plus size mom giving her kid powdered donuts for breakfast. Is it the healthiest thing? No. But if we go and find a skinny and healthy person doing the same thing, I bet you those comments are very different.
And I do think there's some truth to that, but junk food is junk food regardless of who's consuming it. We see the anti-diet, BOPO, and fat acceptance spaces all coming together to sell poor health and obesity as some kind of protest.
Tomorrow morning, my kids are getting donuts for breakfast, and I'm gonna have my big ass cup of coffee with all the sugar and cream I put in it that made me this healthy ass size, and you're gonna be like, damn, that's a big. Yep.
There are too many registered dietitians, personal trainers, doctors entering this space just to tell people like her how brave and evolved they are for thinking like this.
It is okay to be fat. We don't say that enough, but it needs to be normalized. If you are fat, that is okay. It is okay to not be healthy. We act like it is this moral failing. You deserve a scarlet letter if you are not healthy. And there's a name for that, and that's called healthism.
This doctor is not directly replying to the donut situation, but she is a part of what's been cultivated by the food industry's hard work. She may as well be recommending her favorite brand of tobacco product. Social injustice is an easy way to grab attention. Rather than proving to us that their products are actually worth consuming, why not rather suggest that it's shaming people who are experiencing poverty to even evaluate a food for its nutritional value?
You don't know this person's socioeconomic status. You don't know what circumstances have befallen them. You don't know what kinds of food they may have access to or may not have access to.
It is giving mean girl, it's giving mom shaming, it's giving poor shaming, because donuts at my store are sometimes buy one get one free, so I can pay $4 and have multiple different breakfasts for my kids.
The accessibility of these products is actually part of a bigger issue. They are priced so low largely because of government subsidies. Then the cheap prices are pushed as points of social justice, like we see here. It's twisted into a message where junk food is empowering because it's affordable. And if you're against that, then really you're against poor people. Companies like Coca-Cola have been accused of this exact strategy to make people feel good about their drinks, and they added another layer.
How does Coke keep the status quo? And the key is you weaponize systems of trust. So Coke went to the NAACP. It was literally like across the table, we're gonna pay you millions of dollars and you're gonna call our opponents racist. Calling someone racist shuts down the debate. Yes. And they know that.
Weaponizing identity politics is a shortcut around establishing real credibility, which then just allows even more room for these companies to dominate the conversation around our nutrition, especially in regards to science. They have the power, they have the resources, so they produce their own scientific evidence in support of their own products.
Is a protein cookie healthier than a pack of Twinkies?
We've watched this personal trainer on here before. She makes content like this a lot. What she's doing here is actually a product of the food industry's efforts to confuse us while making it seem like they're educating us. Food labels would be their own video, but what we're talking about is what she's about to demonstrate.
First up, calories. In the cookie, you've got 420 calories. In the Twinkies, for 2 cakes, 280 calories. Protein will come as no surprise to anybody that the high protein cookie has more protein. 16 grams in the whole cookie, 2 grams in the Twinkies. Fat in the cookie, 12 grams, 9 grams.
Keep in mind that these are both ultra processed foods, but the method she's using to determine the health of them is nutritionism. It's an approach to understanding nutrition by focusing on individual ingredients or nutrients.
Fat in the cookie, 12 grams, 9 grams. Carbs, 59 grams in the cookie, 47 grams in the Twinkies. Sugar, 25 grams in the cookie, 32 grams in the Twinkies.
This approach gets a lot of financial support from the food industry, and I think her account is a good example of why. She gets a lot of positive engagement on this content because people feel like they've just seen a Twinkie deconstructed and it's not so bad after all. Reducing a complex food product like a Twinkie down to a simple macronutrient profile is not a complete picture of what a Twinkie is, how healthy it is, and how it affects our bodies, including our minds. This kind of reductionist approach benefits the companies manufacturing our frankenfoods by oversimplifying them and allowing more room for interpreting their health benefits.
These guys, $1.50. Absolute bargain. Taste test. Oh, they smell quite nice, rather soft.
Something interesting that social media has added to this equation is that people can essentially work as ambassadors for the food industry without any direct affiliation to them and make money doing it.
I can't do it. My tummy hurts.
The challenge is to drink the Sprite all at once and try not to belch. This challenge makes Sprite fun, trendy, and brings people together. Basically, a lot of the ticks you would want to hit on a viral Sprite marketing campaign. If it's not challenges like that to promote their products, then we've got the dietitians and trainers on here shilling for them also. As someone who's also a personal trainer, seeing somebody use their credentials like this really bums me out.
There is no such thing as a good food, and there is certainly no such thing as a bad food. My advice is to eat the one you like the taste of and try to ignore any shame, guilt, morality that is put around food.
I eat crappy food too, but I don't lie to myself about it. I really go back and forth between whether these experts actually believe what they're saying or whether they've just realized that people will actually give you money for telling them what they want to hear, especially when it's so drastically different from what other experts with the same credentials are saying. This is just the beginning of a larger conversation that I want us to keep going on here. And if the end of this video looked familiar to you, that's because it is a piece of an old video that I had taken down when a fat activist sent her audience after me. I've been wanting to repurpose parts of it because I really liked that video. Kind of wish it could have been another one that got taken down. But we are going to end this one here for today. Thank you for making it all the way to the end if you're still here with me. Let me know your thoughts down below and give the video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. There is a lot to talk about with food policy and corruption, things like Farm Bill and all that. So if those sort of things interest you, let me know down below. Also curious if anyone wants to update me on how their New Year's resolutions are going. I would love to read that also. I am working on another video right now in response to an intuitive eating counselor. Hopefully that will be up soon. I keep overly tweaking my projects. I'm having trouble just not overthinking this year. Anyways, we are just gonna call this one. Everybody take care and we will talk again soon. Bye.